Yo, what's up, family? Just another day in the life of a nobody. Action edition, reaction edition, subtraction edition, multiplication edition. I'm in the holiday spirit, you know what I'm saying? Today I will be reacting to Northland's Bloody Gang War, OFB versus N9. I know my hands ash, you know what I'm saying? I know they need some motherfucking WD-40, some lotion, some Vaseline or something. That's beside the point. My lip do too. This a long ass video, man. I ain't gonna cap. And I kinda already seen it from 7 minutes. I had to start the shit over because my fucking camera died, bruh. Some fucking bullshit. A lot of y'all requested this. I want to just shout out to all y'all, and I want to shout out to the dude that made this long ass video. I ain't gonna cap. He'll go for that shit because I've been on that motherfucker. So we gonna try to keep this shit going. I ain't got nothing to eat because as I was eating it, the camera died. So some of this I already seen to like the 7 minute part. So I'm not even gonna pause anymore because it's like fuck it.
This video is sponsored by Privacy.
I'm here in the O, but I'm not talking about O Block in Chicago. I'm talking about the Broadwater Farm estate in Tottenham, North London, home of the famous drill crew OFB, who over the past few years have been involved in a bloody feud with another group of rappers from a nearby area, with the details about the tit-for-tat back and forths going on between this group playing out in UK drill songs, with fans, feds and internet neeks like myself desperately poring over the lyrics, trying to discover what is really going on in these streets. Thankfully, some of the biggest rappers from these areas have been able to get out through music, bagging #1 records and albums, along with putting millions of pounds in their savings accounts. But for others, being real in the music and being real in the streets is one and the same, with some promising young rappers from this area sat in jail today facing multi-decade sentences for crimes they have done in the streets. But that's the reality of life at the bottom in North London. Shootings, stabbings and disappearances, many of which leave the police baffled as to who is really responsible. All the while, drill rappers drop banger songs with numerous hints that seem to suggest what is really going on in these streets. So today, once and for all, I'm going to break down to you guys the true and shocking story of UK drill in North London.
Police were called here to the Broadwater Farm estate just before 1 a.m. this morning to reports of gunfire. When they got here, they discovered 3 individuals who had been shot at. They include a 19-year-old man and 2 boys, 15 years of age.
First contact.
Hello, yes, I think there's been a shooting at Wood Green.
Sorry, there's been what, sorry?
I had some gunshots fired, somebody on a motorbike.
Hello, Met Police. Someone has been shot dead at Hollywood Green Cinema in Wood Green. Someone's been shot and the guy's not moving.
I've got stabbed.
Where are you, mate?
St Mary's closed. St Mary. I'm dead.
Where young people feel scared to go to Wood Green, and Wood Green young people feel scared to come to Tottenham. That should not happen in London.
When I discovered Fiverr, actually, it was just kind of a gift. I'm Elma. And
OFB stands for Original Farm Boys. The farm is a reference to the notorious Broadwater Farm estate, which is based in the N17 postal code. In the 80s, this was one of London's most dangerous estates. And for decades now, gangs have been a well-documented part of life on this estate. This includes the Tottenham Man Den, an infamous crew of Tottenham-based Gs who were being extensively investigated by London's Met Police for decades. Specifically, Operation Trident, the Met Police's specialised unit aiming to tackle gun crime in the black community. But some people might argue that while trying to tackle gun crime in the community, the Met Police maybe committed a few gun crimes of their own. As Tottenham resident and alleged member of the Tottenham Man Den, Mark Duggan, was named by this unit as one of Europe's most dangerous criminals, a few years after the police shot dead an unarmed Mark Duggan in 2011 after receiving intelligence that he was in possession of a weapon.
The funeral of a black man shot by the police might imply many things. The police insist Mark Duggan was armed and a direct threat before they shot him in the chest. His family say he was killed in cold blood.
I already gave my reaction to this part, so I told y'all I watched it to 7 minutes, but I'm gonna say once again, fuck the police. You gotta at least make sure the man armed first. Y'all gonna shoot because y'all heard he was armed, allegedly. Fuck out of here, bro. Y'all knew what y'all was doing, bro. They had to kill him, bro. He was a problem for their ass. That's probably why they did what they did. Rest in peace to him, bro. It's still fuck 12.
Mark Duggan's murder by the police was followed by days of community unrest / intense rioting as the police refused to accept what they'd done to the community, even sending out a sneaky copper to read a pre-written statement to explain why the killing was supposedly okay, while surrounded by angry members of the public screaming that they're a bunch of murderers.
No officer steps out at the start of the day to run an operation that results in someone dying.
Anywho, setting aside the tragic case of Mark Duggan, as the years went by, many different street crews would emerge.
His dad gonna say anyway. Pay attention to what he said too, though. I know you made this video, my boy, but you don't have to say anyway like that, bro. Cause you know that shit was bogus.
And lay claim to the territory in Broadwater Farm and the surrounding Tottenham areas, with several crews like Bloodline and Star Gang emerging who would use the colour red to identify themselves, shaping themselves around the American Blood Gang despite having no official affiliation with them. And this is something that rappers from this area continue to do to this day, with Band OK's recent summer smash Slide being notable for its extensive use of the Blood's red paisley. Anywho, in the late noughties and early 2010s, some of the people that had been involved with gangs on these estates started to form their own musical movement. Initially, there was the North Star music group in the noughties, and then the next generation of Tottenham-based rappers represented under the Star Gang. And this is where infamous drill rappers Heady One and RV come into the picture, repping Star Gang heavy in their early work, which is why you'll see their starish branding on a lot of their early projects and mixtape cover arts. But this was before UK drill was even a thing, and back in the 2010s, Heady, RV and the other OFB pioneers were doing what's called road rap, a subgenre of British gangster rap where UK rappers would rap over American beats, spitting facts about the gritty realities of life on the streets where they're from. Problem
It ain't facts, my boy. It's allegedly.
is the booming UK drill sound that everyone around the world can't get enough of hadn't been invented then. So Heady One wouldn't truly flourish as a rapper for many years, because his time doing road rap with the Star Gang would be cut short when he was caught in 2014 with over £30,000 of smack and crack. This left Heady One being sentenced to a 13-month stint in jail, but while he was away, another Broadwater Farm.
There's another thing I said that I just wanted y'all to hear too. If the government, just like they got with all these motherfucking dispensaries and shit, if they was getting their hands on that smack and that crack, they had ends in on that shit. That one man you selling it. Because if you think about it, they say it's hurting and killing people, but they the ones accepting it. They the ones buying it because they want it. You get what I'm saying? So that's just stupid to me that people go to jail for like narcotics and all that shit. That's so dumb to me, in my opinion. It's just like another job. Instead of they ain't working for the government ass, and that's why they mad, and that's why they giving them time for that shit. No cap.
Farm rap legend emerged. The deep-voiced driller that some people call the original Pop Smoke, Abracadabra, would pick up the mic and start rapping, releasing his hit song Robbery. This track would get an all-star UK remix from British rap legends Krept and Conan, with that remix sitting today at a healthy 26 million views, with Abra evolving beyond the Star Gang moniker that had been popular on the Broadwater estate before, forming the new musical crew Unto Nation. But this was 2016, and around this time UK drill was just beginning to find its signature sound, and things would go to the next level musically in 2017 when Heady One was released from jail, reuniting with his day one homie RV, beginning to drop back-to-back drill bangers and freestyles under the collective name OFB, and the 2017 Tim Westwood OFB Crib Session freestyle set would introduce fans to a whole raft of rapping OFB members, many of whom would go on to drop classic songs of their own right. This includes people like Low Key and Kush, and waiting in the wings was a lineup of elite teenage drill rappers, just waiting for their opportunity to jump on the mic too, and eventually the world would be introduced to the OFB youngers. People like Boogie B, Band OK, who is actually Mark Duggan's son, Double L's, and SJ. I mean, I swear, I don't know how they keep finding rappers on this estate. It's like Pokemon Gold. I'm out here trying to catch them all. And as time went on, we would see more and more OFB rappers introduced.
I agree with him on that. I'm trying to catch up, but man, I'm so far behind. There's so many damn rappers in the UK, goddamn.
Used to the public conversation. Ispop, Desi, Trapo, Brads, DSAV, Axe. I mean, I'm sorry if I've forgotten any of you.
I need to check out DSAV again. I said this already. I need to check out DSAV again, because they say he got some fire-ass songs. Y'all already know Abracadabra. I got a couple more things coming by him that y'all requested that I react to. I need to do this Band OK, Trapo, Desi. I ain't even got RV or Heady One. I ain't got nothing by them yet. Or Low Key, or Brads, or Double L's, or SJ, or Boogie B. I ain't gonna lie. He look young as a bitch. Him and him. They look like that. But that any nigga said it look like that look like that's his daddy, no cap.
But there really is a lot of OFB rappers. And I know that some of the ops like to say OFB has too much rappers, but when they're all this talented, I say hell keep them coming. But interestingly enough, OFB aren't the only tough guys around Tottenham, as historically they have been linked to another terrifying group in the area known as NPK, or the Northumberland Park Killers. NPK are a crew hailing from Northumberland Park and around Park Lane. The area they're from seems the same Tottenham N17 postcode as OFB, with Northumberland Park train station only about 10 minutes away from Broadwater Farm on Ped, but another different...
Dang, they 10 minutes away. See, this ain't nothing like Chicago, y'all. This Chicago right here. This be O Block, another motherfucking block, and then 63rd. Literally. They could come outside, walk like a block. Literally a block. It ain't even a mile, y'all. You can walk like a little block and shit. And you see your ops right there, chilling type shit. That's how that shit is. They 10 minutes away, so they got like a good little distance. Even though they like allied together, as what I know right now. But they look like it's down the middle. This them, this them.
difference with NPK is that they rock purple bandanas instead of red, distinguishing them from the blood-inspired sets in nearby areas. But don't get the colour difference twisted. This group has a long heritage of association with the red bandana Tottenham crews. Formerly being considered a part of the Tottenham Mandem crew back in the day, eventually NPK branched off and started their own group, and just like Back and Not Nice, NPK really did live up to their name back in the day. It's been said that NPK-based affiliates in the Tottenham area had something to do with the 2007 murder of Gary Guthrie outside of a nightclub, and they had a vicious early beef with Edmonton-based group the Shank Stars, with the beef getting so out of hand several members were
Shank Stars. These motherfuckers came up with an all-star name group for themselves. What the fuck? That shit crazy.
Put behind bars in the late noughties, but we're going to get into that feud in detail shortly. What's really important to know is that just like OFB, the younger generations of rappers that rep NPK would go on to release drill music, with the most notable crew emerging from this area rapping under the name Sin Squad, with their most high-profile rappers being GP, aka Gunner Pumps, KK, LR, Bully B, Unks, Tugger, who is actually SJ's half-brother, Stewie, M-Loose, Sneaks, Shems, Trills, and Osaf.
Oh, Tug is SJ half brother. This dude look like the dude what's his name that was on the other one. He looked a little bit like him. No lie. But I already did a reaction I think to Tugger, Trails from Sin Squad. I know KK already, and I think that's it. And Unks. Yeah, I did one with Unks. I ain't do one with him. He said he a top rapper. I need to go check him out. Gunner Pumps. I need to go check him out. GP. Probably did do one with him. I don't know.
A lot of these guys were close to OFB rappers growing up, and as we'll see as the story goes on, they would end up riding together on more than just tracks. With a murder carried out by members of both OFB and NPK, leading to a bitter split between the former group of friends, a feud which will get very ugly indeed. But before we move on to the next section, I also just want to say that there's...
Why do it always start off like that? They be cool, they be friends, they went to school together, they mess with the same chicken heads, and then out of nowhere they just end up beefing. That shit crazy.
Another crew called AP from Enfield, aka Skengfield, with Ordnance Road being a prominent street in this area. And if you listen to music by rappers from Wood Green or Edmonton, you might hear them dissing this area in their music. And you might also hear about a group called TPL, which is Turnpike Lane, another separate crew who tend to have beef with OFB, and do have some pretty good rappers as part of their lineup. But for the sake of simplicity, we're not really going to get into AP, TPL, or any other crews in this video, just so it's easier to understand. Anywho, now you know about OFB and NPK, the red and purple rocking crews from Tottenham, it's time to find out about their sworn enemies who we will be focusing on in this video. A couple of crews who come together under the colour green to wage war on anybody from Tottenham.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
Sponsored by Privacy. Protect your identity. Their virtual card is amazing. Avoiding bad entities. Viva, Arriba. Shopping online with my card, no visa. Then all these scammers appear, looking at my details, trying to steal them. Privacy, hit them with a virtual card. Replace the digits with stars. Bank information hidden. Stealing my details gonna be hard. I got more than $1 million in savings, so I gotta use privacy on my card so that...
Thanks for telling us that. What the fuck?
boss, don't come through and take it. Privacy account, go make it. And you can pause your account in a second. Someone wanted charges, don't get in. Make a new card in one click. Check out filled out by browser extension. It saves you racks and gives you peace of mind. Prevent card fraud, stay safe online. Make sure you're not switched, don't bill twice, cause these sites are sly. You can make your spends limited, so a free trial don't charge infinite. So when you sign up, no need to cancel, just let privacy finish it. So you wanna try Spotify Premium, but you want it for free, so devious. Sign up with a spending limit of just $1, let privacy deal with it. You can't get overcharged if you're moving smart with Privacy's virtual card. So head to privacy.com/traplaw.
I better not get no motherfucking copyright strike for this bullshit. He did his thing though with his sponsor, but god damn.
Ross and sign up for an account today.
I actually kind of like that though too, cause he was the first person I ever seen make a whole like song for a sponsorship. But who the hell is all these guys back here, bro? Come on now, man. He put a mask on, bro, different shirts and shit. The fuck is wrong with this guy?
New customers automatically get $5 to spend on their first purchase. That's privacy.com/traplaw Ross. Sign up now. Thanks, Privacy. Bow, bow.
Also around 10 minutes away from Broadwater Farm is an area called Wood Green, and the gang that historically runs things in this area is known as MOB, or Money Over Bitches. The Wood Green mob are based in the N20.
I guess I had to pause it because I like that name. Money over bitches, that's kind of cold.
Postcode, which is why they're also sometimes referred to as the 22 or 22 mob, or just the twos, with the important landmarks in the area being the estates around Commerce Road and the Sky City estate, a strange residential complex in the sky built on top of a Wood Green shopping mall. Wood Green is an area historically much more focused on street activity than music. Originating as the Wood Green firm in the 90s, back in the day the youths in this area were much more interested in robbing than drilling or rapping, with the 2002 Wood Green robbery crew getting hit with heavy sentences after a ruthless mugging campaign in the area, where the court was told members of the gang were willing to pull shanks for as little as £1. And apparently this crack crew of armed robbers was so good at their jobs that it was reported that street crime in the area went down by a whopping 33% after their conviction. Now, the Wood Green mob didn't originally have a feud with groups from Tottenham until the end of the mid-noughties, where a series of tit-for-tat violent clashes saw Wood Green and Tottenham members hating each other. But again, we'll get into that as the story goes on. Ultimately, the young tough guys from Wood Green were pretty fearless and weren't afraid of having beef with anyone no matter where they're from, with the Wood Green mob ending up in violent feuds with crews all over London, including AP from Enfield, 8th from Hornsey, 9th Street, and Hoxton gangs in the N1 postcode, just to name a few. Now, those feuds aren't super important to this story, but there is one big name that is going to be super relevant to what's going to go down in this video, and that name belongs to the infamous Wood Green gang member Lamps, aka Dip Dat, aka Dipper Dan, a supposedly feared member that put in a lot of work on the streets for the gang. Story goes, Lamps was a Wood Green bully.
I'm snitching, I'm snitching, I'm snitching. It's not him, it's that other dude. He telling everything, dang. My man is so he was one of the most dangerous ones out of their whole crew, huh? Out of Wood Green, huh? Out of Greenwood, I think I said it right.
With ops in Tottenham and far beyond, apparently living in fear of him pulling up on their block. And hell, if this footage is anything to go by, it looked like he had the police quaking in their boots too.
Let's see what we get. Look, we haven't got all here. But shut up, bruv. Shut up, bro. Shut up, bro.
What the fuck? He just telling the police, shut up. Get your ass up.
Now, around 25 minutes away from Wood Green, on the other side of Tottenham, is Edmonton Green. Edmonton is in the N9 postcode, with the G's from this area referring to themselves as N9 or the Niners, not to be confused with another set of Niners over in Homerton, shout out Unknown T. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of different sets coming out of Edmonton, and much like the other crews that we've discussed in this video so far, the Niners heritage has evolved from other street gangs that ran Edmonton decades ago called the Edmonton Mandem or the Edmonton Firm. Out of this crew would emerge a younger generation of ruthless knife men who ended up with the nickname Shank Stars. Apparently these guys were so regularly using knives and shanks that the entire area of Edmonton was even referred to as Shanktown because people were so scared of knife crime in the area. And affiliates of the group who rapped even released early music under the banner of Shank Stars. But in the modern day, the most significant crews coming out of Edmonton represent N9. But more importantly, N9 also spawned arguably the biggest UK drill artist to ever come out of this country, Tion Wayne, who was road rapping back with his N9 homie Caution all the way back in 2010.
I gotta check him out, Tion Wayne. Hold on, let me get the pen, yo. Let me put Tion on here. Wayne, bet. I gotta check him out.
with Tion just beginning to make waves in the British rap scene in the mid-2010s along with his right-hand man, Turner. Now there's a whole bunch of other 9 boys who have touched the mic on and off over the years, many of whom you can see in the 2015 N9 Tim Westwood Crib session, including people like Terminator. Another rapper that has to get an honourable mention from the area is A1 from the 9, even though he said I was going to get shot on Instagram. But in modern day drill, aside from
oh yeah, no, you better leave them boys alone, folks. Hey, he got his water, y'all. Hey, that's why I ain't taking my ass out there. Look, my man just making videos, bro, snitching. He's snitching. Allegedly, because everything on here is allegedly, but he's saying facts. He using the word facts. So I'm saying allegedly. He told your ass you was going to get popped. Hey, I would have been like, bro, I'm finna delete my video today. Fuck you, man. You got me fucked up. That shit cooked.
From Tion and Turner, the hottest thing coming out of Edmonton is the youngest set of drill rappers who go by the name 3x3, which if you're a true internet detective, you'll realise quickly adds up to 9. I bet that really
look at him, a real detective.
Keeps the cops off their tail. I mean, I'm trying to gangbang, not have a maths test. Anyway, there's a handful of 3x3 rappers who are making a lot of noise recently, particularly E1, another green bandana rocking rapper who seemingly has zero fear of the police.
Keep it stepping, keep it stepping, keep it stepping. Get the fuck off the block! Get the fuck off the block! I want you in that fucking vehicle now! Now!
What the fuck? Y'all did not tell me it was going down like this, bro. You couldn't do no shit like this in Chicago, boy. Your ass gonna get flexed on the ground or something. They gonna try to do you like they did our boy George Zimmerman, man. Rest in peace to him, bro. They gonna put you down there and put a knee on you or some shit. You die. No bullshit. They low-key got the cops out here like this, bro. Fuck. We need them to come over here and treat them motherfuckers like that over here. I ain't gonna cap.
Ow! Mate, if you come in, you get in there! Oi, open that door! Open that door!
Then, of course,
the man said, open it. The man grabbed the doorknob. Damn. Bro, E1, bro. He crazy, bro. Damn.
There's ZT, the self-proclaimed CSS chest shot specialist, because, you know, he'll shank you in the chest. Now, 3x3 and the 9 have other rappers that are affiliated with the area, and apologies to anyone from Edmonton who didn't get a mention, but you know how it goes. There's too many names. So let's take a closer look at some of the events that caused the decades-long, deadly war between Tottenham and Edmonton. So the war between Tottenham and the Greens has been going on for literally decades. And as a result of the violence spilling out on the streets, the feud is very well known to the police.
What we do know is there is a long-standing and very violent feud between gangs in Wood Green and a rival gang in the Tottenham area.
However, recently with the rise of social media and the popularity of drill music, people on the internet have never been so desperate to find out what's actually going on in the streets between these two warring groups. Many scoreboard videos are floating around the internet, claiming to detail the many shootings and stabbings that have gone down between specific members of these groups, usually based on rumours from internet forums, but this isn't that kind of video. Instead today, we're going to be taking an overall look at all of the most serious incidents in these areas that at least made it to the news or social media, following along how the war on the street ended up spawning several rappers from each area who would go on to give detail about the beef in the streets in lyrics of their music. Now, much like we've discussed in videos about the deadly gang wars in Chicago and Jacksonville in the past, this beef started as simply as just teenagers from these two different areas having after-school fistfights back in the early noughties, with these fistfights eventually escalating to knife fights, and unfortunately from there it didn't take long for firearms to enter the mix, and soon the clashes between these...
That's how it always starts. Y'all know something that's crazy though? It always be blacks. Like, bruh, we are the most superior beings, no cap, like on some real shit. Black people are superior in ass beings, bruh. When it come to like strength, when it come to like all type of shit. Bruh, and we out here just taking each other out type shit. That shit crazy. Now when war go on with us versus the government and shit, we gonna lose all our real crazy soldiers because they busy killing each other and shit. What the fuck?
Two groups would become deadly. A big escalation came in 2005 when an MPK member was attacked and stabbed by 4 shank stars at a Texaco gas station, being left with serious injuries. This led to numerous mass brawls and tit-for-tat violence in the area, and so while the MPK and the Edmonton shank stars are warring, so too are Tottenham Star Gang warring with the Wood Green mob. In fact, it was reported that around 20 violent incidents where weapons were used took place between Wood Green and Tottenham in an 8-week period in early 2005. This This included the shooting of a 17-year-old on Broadwater Farm, 3 shootings in one day in April, and a hit and run on Wood Green High Road that ended up injuring an innocent 8-year-old. With these back and forth,
what the fuck? These motherfuckers tried to run somebody over and missed them and ran over a kid. That is so fucked up.
Leading up to another incident in 2005 where this beef reached deadly new heights. As on May the 1st, 2005, 22-year-old Andre Linton from Tottenham is shot dead at close range after his car was surrounded by 6 youths in Wood Green. Somebody involved in the incident was identified as Jermaine Campbell, who courts were told was a member of Wood Green mob. In fact, the very same person had actually been sentenced to...
Damn, did my shit just freeze like that? That shit mad crazy, bro.
3 years back in 2002 for being part of that notorious Wood Green mugging squad. And after being found guilty of the murder, he would end up being sentenced to 25 years in prison. Apparently showing no remorse to the very end, coldly taunting his victims in court, winking and making shooting hand gestures towards them from the dock.
What the fuck is going on here? Bruh, fuck this. UK, bruh, y'all won, bruh. If y'all wanted to be the craziest motherfucking place to ever go, bro, y'all have won, bro, because this shit here is insane. His ass in court winking and making gun hand gestures at the family like y'all could have been one of the ones I took out too. God damn, that shit crazy.
It's no surprise.
And just to think about it, he only got 25 years. I don't wish jail on anyone, but he only got 25 years. They just got to think about that. If he did that, he's not going to forget what he did. He's going to get out. And he's going to... Oh, my God. We're going to pray for these niggas.
Surprised then that retaliations were seen in the area, with Get Back getting deadly on the 28th of October 2006, when a Wood Green mob affiliate named Jerome Vassell was shot in the head outside of a Wood Green community centre, a shooting which left him brain damaged and paralysed, with it taking over a year for him to succumb to his injuries and eventually pass away.
My man survived a headshot for a whole year? God damn. Bruh, these motherfuckers out here built different. They built different. Rest in peace to him, bruh. But that is crazy. A whole fucking year. Bruh, this is some crazy ass shit, bruh. This Chicago war, Jacksonville war ain't got shit on this shit here. Or Brooklyn. This shit here is crazy, bruh.
8 people were arrested in this incident, but none were charged. At this point, the streets were super hot and the beef between these areas was getting serious. And at a certain point, an alliance forms between the Wood Green mob and the Edmonton Shank Stars. And so, stylized in green, Wood Green to Edmonton Green would become known collectively as Green City, with green bandanas signifying alliances between sets that operate in these areas. Suddenly, their beef with the crews in Tottenham throwing up the red bandanas and NPK rocking purple was looking like some real Bloods and Crips shit, or Grove Street versus the Ballers, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. I ain't want to say it though. Oh, no funny shit.
2007 and 2008, the beef only intensified with more bloody battles between these two groups taking place. This included another mass brawl outside of a Texaco again, of all places. I swear drill rappers are sponsored by petrol stations or something. Anywho, with so much crime and violence spilling into the streets, the battle between Tottenham and Edmonton would eventually reach the police's radar. Especially in November 2007, when a massive street fight took place between members of NPK and Shank Stars, where numerous people were left with stab injuries, and the court being told that those responsible went on to rap about the crimes in songs. In the end, the police used DNA evidence to slap heavy sentences on members from both sides, and the increased police attention that was placed on the groups around this time definitely had the block hot for a couple of years. And as these years went by, new generations of tough guys emerged from the same areas, eventually inheriting the beef from their elders, and repeating the cycles of violence seen by previous generations.
That's how it always is, though. All they gonna do is the youngest gonna think the older guys are cool and this is what we should be doing, right? And then they just go right behind them and be like, yeah, we definitely gonna do what these guys doing. They're getting money, they're getting all the ugly chicken heads, they're just giving it up easy and shit. So might as well, let's join in on the fun. Then they get known, they cool. That shit do not be cool though, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Generations. Mass brawls and stabbings in Wood Green continued through 2008, and with police vowing to put a stop to the violence, cops were trying out new techniques of calming things down, including banning people from their own areas to try and stop violence being committed. In fact, the guy from this article who was banned from Wood Green was another early rapper called G Money. Again, this was back in 2009, when UK rap that was about street goings on was referred to as road rap, and at this point there was way less money or clout in the rap game than there would be later when the UK drill scene had flourished. In fact, around this time, many of the young men men associated with these areas begun to dabble with music, releasing road raps of their own. Tion Wayne from the Nine was dropping songs, and the future OFB pioneers like Heady One and RV were dropping Wood Green disses recorded on their block. But it would be nearly 10 years before rappers from both of these areas would be considered greats. And in that time, there would be an insane amount of bloodshed, as individuals would end up being killed on both sides of this beef, and with details about the goings on in the dangerous underworld of North London eventually finding its way into those road raps. North London was not a safe place to be in the decade that followed, and for a long
it's not a safe place to be at all. Fuck that. I'm not taking my ass out there.
Stretch of time, it seemed like murder after murder was taking place in these areas. In April 2011, 15-year-old Negus McLean, aka Chop, labelled by the BBC as a member of Edmonton N9-based set called Dem Africans Gang, was murdered by a gang-hunting posse of 4, armed with knives, stabbing him to death in a grisly incident that was described in court. 4 people were later found guilty of murder in this case, apparently members of Enfield's EN3 Get Money Gang. Another murder in the area, which is rapped about by 3x3 members frequently, occurred at 9:45 PM on Monday the 1st of April 2013, when 19-year-old Mohammed Hussein, aka Chicken, was killed by a shotgun blast on Bounces Road in Edmonton following an argument, with the news reporting the scene as something straight out of an old western movie, with 21-year-old Nat Neil Tesfaye given a life sentence for the murder, which authorities said was gang-related, with the modern-day rappers from 3x3 frequently rapping that he should be free. Jumping forward to 2015, the blocks in the area were incredibly hot, as a lot of violence played out on both sides of the fence. On the
That's what he was saying. Oh, we did a reaction to that too, by the way. That plugged in. That shit was... Wow, so that's why he said that thing with the... Oh, okay, that kind of makes sense now.
10th of January 2015, a teenager in Wood Green is murdered in his ends following a knife fight. That same month, an 18-year-old from Tottenham who went by the name Prophet, real name Isaiah Ekpaloba, robbed a home of a member of the Wood Green mob named JD before trying to flee in a taxi. He was chased with a knife by JD and eventually murdered, with JD from Wood Green being charged with the murder and getting life in jail. And it's around this moment that the streets begun to interact with the music, as A1 from the Nine dropped his song Op Part 2, where he dissed Prophet, as well as other people associated with OFB. However, Prophet wasn't the only fallen soldier from the area who would end up getting mentioned in music. On June the 15th, 2015, 22-year-old Lukey Maxwell was murdered in a stabbing in Northumberland Park. Lukey was well known to rappers from the area, particularly Tottenham grime legend Skepta, who ended up making the tribute song Lukey World that even the king of rap himself, Drizzy Drake, ended up sharing in the form of a picture of himself wearing a Lukey World t-shirt.
Drizzy.
Now, someone was charged in that case with murder, but those charges were eventually dropped. Also in June 2015, Renea Campbell, aka Mello from Wood Green, is stabbed to death outside a party, with 2 people eventually being convicted from Northumberland Park in Tottenham. So with this deadly beef going down in the streets, you'd think the safest place to be would be inside. But hell, even in prison, members from these areas are getting touched. In October 2016, Jamal Mahmood, aka Chaos, is murdered in HMP Pentonville Prison, being stabbed in an argument allegedly over a parcel of drugs, before being thrown over the railings of the landing, dropping about 30 feet. The alleged killers beat their case once again, with the media identifying Chaos as a member of the GMG gang from Enfield. So again, whilst not actually part of this beef, Chaos is another name that would go on to be heavily disrespected by 3x3 members in their raps. In fact, it really seemed like the trend of smoking dead ops on social media.
How the hell did he get killed in prison? What the fuck? Oh my goodness, this shit is beyond me, bro. This is the craziest reaction I probably did in my life.
Was also really taking off in North London around this time. Another AP member from Enfield known as Skengs, apparently the brother of Chaos who was murdered in prison, is seen on social media dissing Wood Green and saying he's smoking Mellow in 2016.
I can share the thing Mellow to the dome.
Then, completely independently of the beef between these two areas, in December 2019, Skengs is murdered by one of the customers he sold drugs to, apparently beating him with a claw hammer and stabbing him to death, then putting the murder weapons and the body in a big sheet that he hid in his attic, with the crime only being discovered a whopping 8 months later, after the killer bragged to his friends about the crime and even showed somebody the rotting body in the attic. Now, eventually,
Who the fuck would want to see some shit like that? And how you getting killed by someone you serving to? You telling me out here in the UK, your P's and your Q's is out here robbing you and killing you? What the fuck? It's usually the other way around, bro. That is crazy.
2 people are jailed for this crime. That story's just wild, and you know what? It really reminded me actually of what happened to Corbin Johnson, who went missing for an entire year in the video I did on the deadly gang war in Jacksonville. And just like Corbin, following his passings, Skengs was disrespected on numerous songs by the likes of 3x3, with some even being seen on social media smashing up a mural to Skengs in his area. Now look, not everything I've mentioned up until this point is necessarily connected or related. What I'm trying to do is just give you a backdrop to the wild shit that was going on in this area during the time that UK drill music as we know it today was finding its voice. This is the
Allegedly. You need to say that, my guy.
environment drill rappers were coming up in, and these are the situations that they would be speaking about in their music. And over time, a lot of young men from these areas would begin to release absolutely fire music, finally getting themselves a chance to make money legally and get into a lucrative career on a path of safety away from the streets. But for some, even with the opportunity of going straight through music on the table, the temptation to slip back into old habits comes strong. And time after time, the unfortunate truth is it seems like people from this area were forced to choose a safe career making music and staying away from the streets, or choose violence.
When quarantine started, I just decided to do something for everybody and just put together my first.
So, whilst the violence is raging in the streets of North London, some of the young men from these areas are trying to find another way out through music. Particularly Tion Wayne from the Nine, who had slowly been building up a buzz and showing constant improvements on the mic, dropping 2 volumes of his Wayne's World mixtape series, the latter of which has the track Get Dough 2, which in my opinion is one of my favourite and very underrated Turner and Tion tracks. Hope they drop a part 3. Anyway, in my opinion, at this point, Tion Wayne was carving out a very special and unique place in UK rap. So this was way before UK drill had really kicked off, and Tion was kind of making these tracks that sat somewhere kind of between road rap and R&B rap, kind of singing about girls with like a little bit of Afro beats influence in there. He was doing his thing, and his 2016 track Me or the Lifestyle is a prime example of what I'm talking about. You know, it's sort of a love song about finding a girl that you can trust, but set to a backdrop of kind of street shit. It's good stuff. However, the unfortunate truth is, as Tion's buzz was reaching new highs, with him booking shows around the country, even opening up for Rick Ross at one point, sadly, after one of these shows, Tion Wayne would be confronted with a moment of madness, and in a split-second decision, he would choose violence and end up losing everything he had worked so hard for up until that point. As on March the 4th, 2017, Tion Wayne was arrested for a fray after taking part in a mass brawl and stamping on some guy's head outside of a nightclub concert in Bristol. An incident which was captured on CCTV video, but is definitely too raw to show you on YouTube. Anyway, it's said that around 100 people were fighting in the street, some were armed with weapons and others were even swinging the barriers around. For his role in this incident, Tion Wayne ended up being sentenced to 16 months in prison. And he would later rap on his #1 song Body, "When I punch man, it's grievous. They played back the CCTV when I banged him, my defense said Jesus." So for the majority of 2017, Tion Wayne was gone, and the momentum that he had been building up in the rap game slammed to a halt too. Ironically though, as Tion was going in, on the territory of his rivals over in Tottenham, the 30-month sentence that Heady One got in 2014 for dealing drugs was coming to an end. In February 2017, Heady One gets out of jail and quickly releases his fresh home song Losses and Winnings, quickly hitting the ground running with his day one homie RV, with them doing up a whole bunch of fire freestyles as a duo. They released a joint mixtape, Drillers and Trappers, in July, and throughout the rest of 2017, in the absence of Tion Wayne, RV and Heady One are making some serious waves in music. And not just as a duo, because Heady is putting in that work solo, truly trying to make a name for himself. His Street Heat freestyle was legendary and got people excited to hear more solo hits from him, and in October 2017, his solo banger Live from the T drops and doesn't disappoint fans. So with Heady picking up that heat in the streets, the UK drill scene begins to get more and more popping. And it's not just OFB making progress with the music too, because at a certain point, the Wood Green members decide to get in on the action too. In October 2017, Lamps from Wood Green, along with his homies Rams and Rids, released their drill song No Lies, containing numerous lyrics where Lamps disses NPK rivals, with this track being followed with the song Looking for Who, another track where Lamps from Wood Green says that he's regularly stabbing people from the N17 postcode. And so with the feud between these
Allegedly, bro. I'm just the lyrics, bro. This guy.
areas getting more and more public and finding its way into music, that feud would eventually once again spill out into the streets. And at the start of 2018, there would be a series of high-profile clashes between members of these crews. On the 26th of January 2018, Heady One is attacked by Wood Green members after playing a show at Bedfordshire Uni not far from London. Here, he's confronted by Wood Green members outside of a university accommodation, where he's basically threatened, dragged around, beaten, and kind of chased off the campus, all the while tucking his hand into a man bag as if he has a weapon, but one is never produced. But what's even more shocking than the incident itself is the brazen way those that carried it out filmed the entire thing and posted it up to Snapchat. Once it was up, the footage was circulating quickly amongst the drill community, and people were clowning Heady One heavily for catching what was perceived to be a bad violation. But the disrespect wouldn't last for long, because as Heady One himself said, this L would soon turn into a W, and the very next day a shooting went down in Wood Green, where a 19-year-old man was hit, but he fortunately survived. And in the immediate aftermath of the shooting, OFB member RV is seen dissing the Wood Green ops on Snapchat, seemingly referencing this incident. Apparently even going as far as to drive past the crime scene afterwards, posting a clip on his Snapchat along with some Kermit emojis.
Bro, these motherfuckers are crazy.
Jeez. Heady also tweeted after this, saying first half he got set up by a girl, second half excellent finish. I guess suggesting that a point had been scored and that they were even now. 3 people were arrested under investigation following this incident, but no one was ever charged. But more importantly, also within a day of this supposed get back, Heady One and RV would jump back on the mic, releasing the biggest drill song of the year, the classic Know Better. The song is all about Heady One basically suggesting that he did indeed have a gun with him that day in the bag, but that he knew better than to pull it out with the ops filming him on Snapchat. Going on to suggest that the ops should have known better than pulling that stunt on him, with numerous lyrics suggesting that the shooting that took place the next day was related to the incident, but stopping just short of incriminating himself by replacing any specific details with the ad-lib shh. Something that Heady didn't necessarily invent, but he definitely popularised with this track that many people believe completely changed UK drill for good. Know Better was such a huge success that within a month, Heady One had signed a full-blown record deal with Sony's Relentless Records imprint, who re-released Know Better commercially. It's kind of ironic that Heady One sort of had to be subjected to a horrible physical gang altercation in order to get the attention that he needed to sign a legit record deal. But how he got it doesn't matter. The important thing was that Heady was now officially on and in the industry, well positioned to focus on music and get out these streets. Unfortunately, however, in the days that followed the Know Better incident, the streets of North London would be as hot as ever. And less than a week after this happened, Wood Green members would retaliate, claiming the life of a young man from Tottenham, sparking a violent wave of killings that would go on for years to come. On February the 3rd, 2018 at 1:30 AM, police were called to Kemble Road at the junction of St Mary's Close in Tottenham after reports of a stabbing. It turned out that a young man named Kobe was driving on this street when he was rammed off the road by another vehicle. Apparently Kobe was a former gang member affiliated with the Northumberland Park area in Tottenham, with convictions for violence all the way back in 2012. But by 2018, Kobe had seemingly distanced himself from the streets and was employed as a youth worker, helping troubled people in the community break the cycle like he did. Sadly though, that day when he was rammed by rivals from Wood Green, they didn't care one bit that he had turned his life around and moved away from the streets. So after being rammed off the road, numerous people jumped out the car with poles and knives, attacking Kobe, leaving him stabbed, dying at the scene. And his shocking 999 phone call was even eventually broadcast, where he pleaded to paramedics to come to the scene, whilst Kobe seemingly already knew that it was too late.
I got stabbed.
Where are you, mate?
St Mary's close. St Mary's. I'm dead.
DNA evidence.
What did he just say? I'm dead, bro. That's so fucked up, bro. He shouldn't have even played that shit. That's some sick ass shit, bro.
Was found in the car on both the airbags and seatbelts, linking multiple Wood Green mob affiliates to the crime, with the suggestion that Lamps from Wood Green was one of the people who had jumped out of the car, attacking Kobe, and another man named Neron Quarty, who was labelled by police as the driver. He was picked up by police and gave a full no-comment interview.
Were you one of the guys with a knife in his hand stabbing him? Were you one of the ones holding him while he was stabbed? Did you murder Kobe?
But comment or none, it seemed that the DNA evidence that was left on the airbag was indisputable. And on the 16th of August 2018, Neron Quarty is convicted of the murder of Kobe, being sentenced to 26 years in prison. Meanwhile, Lamps' involvement in this murder wouldn't be identified by the police until some time later, and unfortunately, by the time they worked out that Lamps was involved in the murder of Kobe, it was too late. And even with Kobe's murder successfully carried out, apparently the Wood Green mob was still thirsty for blood. In fact, apparently members in the area had even planned an attack on Kobe's funeral, with police getting intelligence and intercepting the crew in an insane police chase that was even caught on camera, with the cops ultimately foiling the plan.
Did these motherfuckers get out of a moving vehicle and what the fuck? Whew. We're gonna pray for these niggas.
Ride out on the funeral.
First contact.
Hello, yes, I think there's been a shooting at Wood Green.
What, sorry?
I heard some banter outside, somebody on a motorbike.
Just over a month after the murder of Kobe, late at night on the 7th of March 2018, Lamps posted his location on Snapchat, seemingly gesturing for his ops to come and pull up on him. And he had shown quite clearly for the whole of North London to see that he was chilling outside the McDonald's at the Hollywood Bowl Entertainment Complex in Wood Green. Now, we already know that Lamps was known to have numerous enemies from all over London and a feared reputation in the area. And for those that wanted to cause him harm, this would be the perfect opportunity. And after getting the drop on Lamps, two unidentified individuals pulled up to the area on a moped, arriving at the Hollywood Bowl in Wood Green and spinning the block twice. On this ride, they seemingly caught Lamps sat with a group of people in the stairwell of the View Cinema in this complex. And for a moment, it even looked like Lamps was running towards the door ready for action, perhaps not realizing just how dangerous those people on that moped were. Because when Lamps approached the glass door leading out of the cinema, he was immediately shot in the head through the window. This shot was fatal, and Lamps was left dead at the scene. And Lamps...
Wow, Lamps. Damn.
His final moments were captured on CCTV, as well as amateur footage of emergency services trying to revive him at the scene, which once again is far too shocking to show you on YouTube. Anywho, after the shooting, the cinema was taped off and the area was considered the scene of a homicide. But the cops wouldn't have much to go on, because after the drill was done, the shooters immediately fled the scene on that moped without leaving a trace, leaving police truly baffled as to who committed what looked like the perfect crime. A drive-by shooting from a moving moped, with both the shooter and the driver wearing crash helmets, getting a headshot, and then immediately fleeing the scene, leaving no evidence.
Wow, bro. That shit crazy.
The killing of Lamps was such a mystery to the Met Police and the public, the case even ended up appearing on the TV crime documentary, The Met Policing London, along with the Kobe incident.
The following day, the investigation into the shooting of Kelvin Odunyi is picked up by the same team investigating the murder of Kobe Nelson.
There is limited opportunities in relation to the identification of the suspects at this time.
So, who killed Lamps? Well, despite there being a whole bunch of crackpot theories floating around on Reddit and YouTube, a lot of different people all over London likely wanted Lamps dead. Because as we know, Wood Green and Lamps himself had many beefs all over London far beyond Tottenham.
Fuck Hoxton as well, yeah? A beef hurt me.
To this day, the crime remains unsolved. And even though Reddit detectives have several theories on who might have been responsible, there really isn't anything truly conclusive. And if there was, trust me, the cops would be on it before Reddit or me. But regardless of whether or not they even had anything to do with this crime, simply because of the ongoing feud between the two areas, following the killing of Lamps, Tottenham rappers would put the utmost disrespect on his name. KK from MPK posted a picture of the unfixed door from the crime scene, talking about the killing of Lamps on Bonham like it was goddamn Chirac.
Yeah, man, them niggas still ain't fixed that shit, boy. And they still trying to re-up on the customers on phone and grave.
RV from OFB drove...
Oh shit, I never heard one of them say on phone and grave. Hey, that's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Everybody, that's one thing I can say. Everybody origin is from Chicago. Like saying all the words and everything. No cap. And I ain't know New York be stealing stuff from UK and shit like that. That shit crazy. Get them boys they props. They work hard for this shit. I'm talking about with the music shit though. I ain't talking about with all this madness here, cause god damn.
Past with the caption "ha ha." Abracadabra was later seen posting a snap at what appeared to be Lamps' grave site, and beyond the ops, even young drill fans on the internet were showing disrespect, with some going as far as to recreate the Lamps murder on GTA 5, reusing the original 999 audio recordings from the scene of the crime.
Hello, Met Police. Someone has been shot dead at Hollywood Green Cinema in Wood Green.
But eventually, the biggest
Oh, that is fucking crazy. They did that shit on GTA.
disrespect on Lamps' name would come when younger NPK members would release an entire song dedicated to dissing Lamps. Over a year after his death, on May the 26th, 2019, NPK rappers Sin Squad dropped the song Kelvin's Coffin. The hook of the song is then basically saying that their shotgun is the same length as Kelvin or Lamps' coffin, as well as rapping that they're smoking on Mellow and Chop, fallen Wood Green members mentioned at the start of this story. In fact, Kelvin's Coffin was an unusually disrespectful song for the UK drill scene. Hell, it even made the news for being so demonic. But anyway, Anyway, setting aside the music for a minute, in the streets, after Lamps was murdered, retaliations would apparently come immediately. The day after the murder, there was a massive fight outside of a school nearby where a boy was stabbed, which police said may have been related. Then, at the end of March 2018, another attack took place at Farringdon's Tinseltown Diner, where both a man and woman were filmed as being attacked on the floor in a confrontation apparently between MPK and Wood Green members. And soon after this physical altercation, on the 2nd of April 2018, just after 9:30 p.m, a silver Vauxhall Mariva pulls up at Chalgrove Road, just round the corner from Northumberland Park Station, where shots are fired from a .32 caliber handgun in a drive-by shooting, apparently targeting an MPK member, but unfortunately the bullets didn't hit their intended target, instead hitting a teenage girl in the chest, leaving her dead at the scene. The victim was 17-year-old Tanisha Melbourne, a young girl from the Tottenham area who had been seen in the past on social media with rappers from OFB and MPK. No one was ever charged for this murder, despite the burned out car used for the drill being found in nearby Barnet only a few days later. And following the incident, people were talking about it on social media, even hashtagging MPK, with the media suggesting that all these events were linked together as part of the ongoing war between these two gangs. And so, with seemingly innocent 17-year-olds ending up dead in drive-by shootings, at this point the violence is so bad that local community activists are demonstrating and calling for change.
Where young people feel scared to go to Wood Green, and Wood Green young people feel scared to come to Tottenham, that should not happen in London.
We all shop online, right? And when we do, we always see that little promo code field taunting us at checkout.
In July 2018, Tion Wayne gets out of jail looking mad crusty, hitting the ground running musically, getting himself a shape up, and dropping his fresh home song, Home. That was followed by another solo track called On My Life, but it was on features that Tion would be getting to that bag, taking his career to new heights. As in November 2018, Tion Wayne appears on the track Options with NSG, which goes on to become the biggest song of his career, charting at number 7. But naturally, not everybody was celebrating Tion's triumphant return to the rap game, as both RV and Heady One are seen hating on Tion on social media, saying they have to skip his part of the song. But in all fairness, there really wasn't anything to be jealous of when it came to Tion Wayne, because in the time he'd been locked up, Heady One had moved on to bigger things, signing his record deal and dropping big projects like his The One mixtape, spawning the classic drill anthem Golden Boot, along with his previous hit No Better, and that was followed up by his The One 2 project, which had more big hits like Banter on Me and Brony, and with big songs doing numbers amongst the fans, Heady would continue to make moves in the industry doing headline shows, and ending the year with the big drop of his song Of Course, easing into the start of 2019 with the biggest drop of his career to date, the track 1800 along with Dave that dropped on the 3rd of January 2019. This is a song that's basically all about paying £1,800 for a rusty shotgun to use on your ops. And the song includes lines about riding through the 9 with skengs, aka guns. But in reality, by this point, Heady One was far from chopping ops at the farm.
I don't know how many times we gotta say this for this man. Allegedly.
Block, and more copping lamb chops from the farm shop, because 1800 with Dave ended up going 5 on the UK singles charts, really representing Heady One's commercial breakthrough moment. Nearly a year on from being ambushed and attacked on camera by ops outside of a show at a university, Heady One is landing top 5 hits on the charts and truly making a name for himself in the mainstream music industry. And so whilst Heady was headed for greatness and setting the template for the younger generation of OFB, on February the 4th, 2018, the song Brocket will drop, introducing the world to some of the younger generation of OFB rappers, including Bando K, Double L's, and Boogie B. And soon there would be another big name joining that lineup, SJ, who would appear on the Farm Block anthem and the UK version of King Von's Took Her to the O, Bad B on the Niz, which released on October the 2nd, 2018. This was the first big hit featuring the OFB younger trio, Bando K, Double L's, and SJ, with this track becoming an instant classic in the area, and SJ himself suggesting that ever since that song dropped, he's had the bad B's all over him. So finally, the youngers growing up on this estate had something to focus on. With these songs, they were building a legal form of income through music, giving them something else to focus on outside of their activity in the streets. But unfortunately, some of them would remain a little too close to the streets to take advantage of the opportunities that the rap game would soon offer. Because only a few weeks after the song Brocket was released, on February the 18th, 2018, a 19-year-old named Lewis Blackman, aka Dotty, gate crashes a party in Kensington. When he gets inside, he allegedly confronts Boogie B from OFB, robbing him of a chain and stabbing him before fleeing the house. However, when he gets outside, he's chased by Boogie B, who allegedly led a group of around 20 young men armed with weapons chasing Lewis.
Okay, I heard about this one, that other one we watched. And this is when they finna do what they did to him.
He was caught, stabbed in the back with a fatal blow administered by Boogie B, and then stabbed up around 13 more times by numerous teenagers who were part of that mob. A year later, Boogie B is jailed for murder and sentenced to 20 years in prison for his role in leading the attack. The loss of Boogie B was a major blow for the OFB youngers, who at this point were still just emerging and making a name for themselves in the drill scene. A bit like Tion Wayne when he had that fight, Boogie B was a promising rapper, but one night of madness and the choice of violence ultimately left him in jail, facing a 2-decade-long sentence, and his music career completely over before it had really gotten a chance to flourish. But sadly, Boogie B wouldn't be the only one. On January the 12th, 2019, a triple stabbing takes place after a confrontation between young men from N9 and members from OFB and MPK in the 4th Street McDonald's near Wood Green.
What is up with everybody being at McDonald's? Like, what the fuck is up with Mickey D's? Second time this shit came up, somebody getting killed or something about Mickey damn D's. Allegedly. Okay, this ain't allegedly because we know he passed away. Rest in peace to him. But about McDonald's, this shit crazy.
And it was rumoured that SJ from OFB was involved in this incident. 3 men were stabbed, and the CCTV of the entire fight inside the McDonald's leaked, which again is way too shocking to show you on YouTube. But anyway, with this kind of shit going down, it's safe to say that the beef between crews from Tottenham and Green City is truly frying. And the hatred between these two groups has of course made its way to drill music, and by this point at the start of 2019, Bando K, SJ and Double L's have become the hottest trio in drill music. On January the 26th, their song Purge drops, which is littered with references to catching and shooting anything that's green, and at least in SJ's case, the entire world would soon see just how serious him and his friends were about catching anything green and killing them. As on February the 21st, 2019, SJ takes his mother's Peugeot 307 along with Sneaks and Osav from NPK out for a drive, eventually parking this car back at the Broadwater Farm estate, with the car being a meeting point for a gang meetup the following day. And then on the evening of February the 22nd, 2019, SJ would meet with MPK affiliates Osav, Sneaks, as well as 3 other men at his mother's parked car. At the car, they would change clothes, riding out around an hour later on push bike towards Wood Green. This group of cyclists grew to include SJ, Sneaks, Trills, Osav, Shems, and 2 other unidentified males riding through the city with their faces covered. Upon the arrival to a Wood Green McDonald's, Sneaks, Trills, and Osav, along with an unidentified male, enter the restaurant and attempt to rob somebody. And then after this altercation, the group spot another group of 4 people, 2 of whom are confirmed affiliates of Wood Green's 2-2 mob. This includes a man named Jason Frazier and another named Kamali Gabardon Link, aka K1. So after countless lyrics saying they'll kill anything they catch that's green, after spotting their green ops in Wood Green territory, all of the Tottenham boys involved in the ride out drop their bikes, with some drawing weapons and running towards that group of enemies. Apparently Shems pulled a semi-automatic handgun, firing indiscriminately in the direction of the Wood Green members, ultimately missing the target with a bullet going into a nearby shop, narrowly missing innocent customers. Meanwhile, SJ and Sneaks both pull out large silver knives. Trills pulled out a black knife, and Osav had his hand in his coat, which the court were told represented a concealed weapon. At this point, the Wood Green affiliates attempted to flee the scene whilst being chased by this gang of masked and armed young men. In fact, these scenes were even captured on amateur video by shocked diners eating nearby in a Nando's restaurant. So, attempting to flee, K1 and Frazier split up, taking different routes to try and get back to their car. And during this attempted escape, Frazier is cornered, where he's beaten, stabbed 8.
I be wondering who are these motherfuckers that always have their phone out to catch shit like this though, cause that shit is kind of like crazy. They just be sitting there and then I know where they phone is just out and they just recording type shit. Like what the fuck?
Times and shot in the buttocks with a shotgun. Moments before the gang are able to deliver a fatal blow to him, however, K1 arrives in a silver Vauxhall Corsa, driving over the gang's bikes and crushing the one belonging to Trills. In this failed attempt to scare off the attackers, K1 unfortunately became the primary target of their attack, with the drillers from Tottenham leaving behind Frazier, who miraculously survives those injuries. So at this point, everybody is running towards K1 in the Vauxhall Corsa that he's driving, with Shems raising a handgun ready to fire at the car, and K1 trying to spin around the car, but ultimately being trapped between 2 other parked vehicles. And whilst he's pinned there, the gang unload on that Corsa, attempting to get to K1. One person shoots out a car window before jumping on the bonnet, trying to smash through the windscreen with a gun. Another person jumps on the hood of the car with a machete, trying to chop through the glass. Now for the record, K1 allegedly had a shotgun in the trunk of this car and multiple knives, all of which he couldn't retrieve whilst this attack was going on. And so at this point, it seems that K1 realizes that he is stuck, and his only option is to flee the car, quickly jumping out and running into the nearby Coffee and Cream hair salon. And this shop was open, full of customers, including a 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, a baby, baby and their shocked parents. But the gang apparently weren't bothered by the amount of witnesses. And so as they rushed into the store, the gang descended on K1 with knives out, inflicting multiple vicious stab wounds, leaving K1 fatally wounded, ultimately dying later in the hospital. K1 was killed in one of the most savage and shocking murders to ever take place on the streets of London. The attack was described by the BBC as reminiscent of a Hollywood film, but to make things even more crazy, after the murder took place, the entire group cycled together back to Broadwater Farm, right up to SJ's mum's Peugeot, changing their clothes in front of the estate's many CCTV cameras, with the police apparently using Broadwater Farm CCTV surveillance video to identify 5 people involved in this attack.
Okay, I'm not gonna pause it anymore after this, bro. I just can't believe they didn't give a fuck how many motherfuckers was in there, how many motherfuckers seen them. He had to go, so they went up in there and they did what they had to do. That is the craziest by far thing I ever heard in my life. You can see somebody go that far if it's a robbery. Okay, give us the money, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to do what you got to do. You already in a robbery. This is for a murder. And they just went in there. With everyone there, like, we don't give a shit. Like, these people is invisible. All these people around are Casper to them. We want this guy. And this guy's getting dealt with today. Not tomorrow, not next week. We ain't giving him a chance to walk up out of here so he can go talk shit. We dealing with him right now. Rest in peace to him. But them motherfuckers right there gotta be the most savagest motherfucking people I ever seen in my motherfucking life. They are worse than lions, bro. I'm telling you, bro. They don't give a fuck. That right there got showed they didn't give a fuck about no rap career, no nothing. They said fuck all of that shit. We on his ass. Oh my God, this shit is... That shit right there just made me, like, my motherfucking heart gets, like, stop for a second, bro. That shit right there is the most terrifying shit I ever heard in my life. Imagine somebody being on your ass like that, bro. You was in a car. These motherfuckers trying to get you in a car. You abandoned ship. Thinking, okay, I'm going to run. I'm going to run up in here with all these people and I'm going to be good. Bro, you ain't good at all, bro. They on your ass. Like, bro, that shit is mad crazy.
But that identification would take some time, and for at least a little while the police would have no idea who was responsible. In fact, just after
these motherfuckers changed their outfits in front of a camera, bro, and they did not know who it was, bro. Oh my God, I don't want nobody to go to prison, but that shit right there, shit, somebody gotta do some time for some shit like that, bro. That shit is mad crazy.
After the brazen murder, police immediately made their way to the Broadwater Farm estate, even stopping trills of NPK, who gave the police false information, and since he'd already hidden his weapon, the police had nothing to hold him on, with him walking away from officers boldly proclaiming, "I hope you lot cut down on knife violence and all that." But if you thought that was brazen, things only get more shocking. As following the murder of K1 with the direct involvement of SJ continues rapping along with Band OK and Double L's, dropping numerous songs in the months that followed the murder of K1, including the May 5th release of the trio's biggest track, Ambush, which has unflattering lyrics in it where SJ talks about pressing triggers and being a chest shot chinger when it comes to stabbings. Now obviously these are just general lines talking about the lifestyle that he witnessed growing up, but unfortunately for SJ, this track and its references to the violent gang life he lived would be used in court as supporting evidence that SJ and his associates were known to carry weapons and engage in gang activity. But Ambush was really one of the more tame examples, because there were numerous examples of SJ and other members dropping lyrics that seemed to reference the killing of K1.
K-Wiz my risen hell on fuck karate with street fighting Joe.
The worst of it really came out during the OFB Youngers crib session with Tim Westwood. Double L's is dropping lyrics about raising the crime rate in the N22 area. Jay went on to diss Lamps numerous times too, and the MPK Youngers were also there to drop some incredibly disrespectful lyrics as well. In fact, some of them were so offensive they ended up being censored or taken out of the final version that was posted to YouTube, but because a lot of these lyrics are in other songs or freestyles, it's pretty easy to find out what they were saying. Like MPK Tugger referencing the crew's involvement in the 4th Street stabbing outside of McDonald's at the start of 2019, as well as another brazen line that also appears in Kelvin's coffin, saying, "Something got tanned in the 9. My mum's like, oh no, what happened? I said, you're late on news, the gang's just done a quadruple stabbing." This was seemingly a reference to a 2018 incident where 4 men were stabbed in Edmonton following a car crash, with the authorities linking it to a triple drive-by that occurred only 24 hours before, where a 22-year-old man and a 16-year-old boy were both injured by a shotgun blast in a minicab. Madness. But one of the most shocking lines that had also appeared on the Sin Squad song Anti-Green, saw MPK members mentioning Y. Dot, who is allegedly a relative of K1, saying that he's suicidal and that they're going to shoot him in the face, with Tugger going on to rap lyrics that were also used in NPK's True Story Part 2, where they mocked Y. Dot for apparently being depressed about K1's murder, with the final incriminating line being delivered by Sneaks, who was quite literally there for the K1 murder, saying anything green get bun, lamps got put in a spliff, and K1 got put in a blunt. Well, this wasn't a great look. By the 21st of April, Trills and Shems of MPK had been arrested. Then on May the 16th, 2019, it's revealed that SJ has also been arrested for murder only days after their Westwood crib session is recorded, with the final suspects being OSAV and Sneaks, who were arrested on the 10th of July. And what's weird is that even facing a murder charge, SJ didn't even attempt to keep a low profile. On June the 2nd, he drops his track Youngest in Charge from jail, which included lines dissing his ops from 3x3, E1 and ZT for just starting to rap, with them having only recently dropped their first proper disrespectful track, Just the Beginning, in May 2019. And in Youngest in Charge, SJ also drops lyrics about spotting ops and taking them out, and dissing Lamps again. Funnily enough, it was later revealed that whilst SJ was sitting in...
Lamps must did a lot. Cause I swear they dissed his ass on every song they can, bruh. Rest in peace to everybody that has lost their life. You know what I'm saying? Even if they have not been mentioned. But Lamps, bro, you must did a lot of shit, my guy, cause shit, they dissing the hell out of that man.
In prison awaiting his murder trial, he was apparently offered a £150,000 record deal off the strength of these tracks he was releasing from prison. Anywho, with the overwhelming amount of actual evidence that the authorities had on SJ and the NPK crew, it's no surprise then that in December 2019, SJ is found guilty of murder in the K1 case, along with Sneaks, Trills, Shems, and OSAV from NPK, with SJ, Sneaks, and OSAV getting 21 years in jail, Trills 25, and Shems a whopping 28 years in prison. And in a way, what happened to SJ was really the truest example of the consequences of living this road life. SJ was rapping about being real, and he really was involved. But the unfortunate result is, he now has to live with the consequences of getting caught. But just when you thought the story was over, shit gets crazy once again. As when it came for the final sentencing in this case, a massive fight broke out in court as SJ and the 4 other MPK members all blamed each other for the murder, accusing each other of snitching, with many of these accusations playing out in the run-up to the sentencing in jailhouse Snapchat posts between the defendants, with all of this pressure building up to a crazy moment at the sentencing when all 5 defendants have a wild fist fight in the dock at court.
What? The homies start fighting each other because they think somebody snitched? Bro, now that was the dumbest shit ever. For one, you know ain't nobody snitched, bro, because all of y'all got 20 plus, bro. Ain't no way somebody snitched, bro, and then all y'all get 20 plus, bro. That's the dumbest shit. That's what tell they young as hell. Because anybody knows, bro, if someone snitched, why the fuck is we all getting 20 plus, bro? Oh my God, that had to be the stupidest shit they did. I know they probably been high bars, regretting the hell out of that shit. We start beating the hell out of each other, bro. And you got 20, he got 20, he got 20, he got 20, oh, he got 28. He got 25. Like, bro, it ain't no way somebody snitched, bro, and all y'all got 20 plus, bro. That don't make any sense.
Apparently took 10 court officers to restrain the defendants, and the fight was apparently so wild that Sneaks of NPK's stepdad jumped 9 foot down from the public gallery into the floor of the courtroom to get involved in the fight. That's a long way down. And when he was down there, he apparently even tussled directly with the prosecutor of the case, Oliver Glasgow QC, who he apparently threatened to murder whilst being restrained by courtroom security. A bonehead move that ended up landing him in jail for 7 months too. And understandably, this last-minute beef between OFB's SJ and the MPK crew who had all done the crime together caused a split between the formerly allied OFB and NPK, which continues to this day, meaning that OFB members would now have to look over their shoulder for ops and former friends turned ops. And the sad truth...
This is the dumbest shit. Now that is the dumbest... Oh my God. That is the dumbest reason to start beefing, bro. And y'all all got 20 plus years, bro. Oh my goodness. Bro, this part right here gets pissed me the fuck off. All y'all did what y'all did. Y'all got y'all time or whatever. And then y'all gonna think each other snitch, bro. And all y'all get 20 plus. Oh my goodness. Y'all let me know in the comment section below, bro. Did that even make sense to be into it, bro? Did that even make sense? Y'all know how many years each of y'all have gotten. And y'all gonna think someone snitched. And all y'all got 20 plus years. It's not like this guy, oh, he got 3 years and all y'all other ones got 20. All of y'all got 20 plus. Nobody was at exactly 20. Everybody was 21, 21, 21, 25, 28. Oh my God, that's the dumbest shit right there, bro.
Truth is that while SJ was sat in jail awaiting punishment for the murder that he'd been involved in, out on the streets, OFB would be clashing with Edmonton harder than ever, as a young generation of green bandana rocking drill rappers would emerge calling themselves 3x3 and drawing out the OFB rappers at the highest level. Despite the fact that by mid-2019, Tion Wayne had become a bona fide rap star with 4 charting songs under
Dang, I might have had 3 coming out. I gotta cop that.
his belt, he clearly was still in touch with the streets. Because on June the 17th, 2019, Kush from OFB was caught on camera at a set of traffic lights by Tion Wayne, who filmed him doing the dash, cutting through a red light to escape.
Come out the car! Come out the car, where you going? Come look at these guys, bro. Look at you, look!
After this, Kush replied in a video, not looking particularly shaken up by the incident.
I'm sitting in the fucking traffic. I'm looking at my phone. Then I've seen a man run up behind like my car. He's running up behind me, get me? Gone to my driver's side. But then he's got his phone out. He's like, come out the car, come out the car. I've looked at him. I've looked to the left. I'm seeing another youth running up next to me. Then I've looked back at him. That's when he's tried to the video from me. Look back at him. You get me? I've just popped my little signs and a cut.
However, other OFB affiliates woke up to the footage and weren't too happy. RV at Tion Wayne, saying, when I saw you, you said you ain't got beef with a man dem. From here, we'd see the likes of RB and A1 from the 9 going back and forth on Twitter, and clearly people from all sides were nervous being out public and armed, with the beef raging on, with this being the very month that a viral clip circulated of Bando K seen tweaking after a fan snuck up on him from behind. And even those at the very top of the group didn't feel like they could be safe out in public without being armed, because that same month on the 25th of June 2019, Heady One is caught with a knife after a traffic stop where he ran from the police. He fortunately makes bail so he can play Glastonbury and release his new album, but he is later jailed for possession of that knife at the very height of his career. So between catching that case and going to jail, Heady One releases his commercial mixtape Music and Road, which is a runaway success, peaking at number 5 in the UK albums charts and containing his hit solo song Both, which landed at number 13 on the singles charts. With both of these projects cementing Heady One's place as one of the true goats of the drill scene. But while Heady's going commercial and making music that represents an evolution away from the street activity he was formerly known for, in contrast, Farm Block's top driller RV is still on smoke, releasing his excellent Savage EP, which is just drill bangers back to back. Definitely go and check that out if you haven't. And the project itself happens to contain another smasher of a song, Crep Shop, featuring the entire trio of SJ, Bando K and Double L's, with this releasing whilst SJ is still on jail awaiting his trial, with that song including a famous bar that's appeared on numerous other OFB songs and freestyles, saying try gun lean, get shot from the backseat, a diss aimed at Russ who had a song Gun Lean, and collaborated with Tion Wayne on the song Keisha and Becky. In fact, from here, numerous OFB youngers would release tracks where they went at Tion Wayne calling him a joker or a muppet, but the N9 and the 3x3 boys clearly weren't taking this lightly. As I mentioned previously, much to the disappointment of SJ, in May 2019, the 3x3 youngers E1 and ZT released their breakout track Just the Beginning, which was littered with disses towards Tottenham. And by September 2019, 3x3 were spotted on social media recording their own Tim Westwood crib session. And you know these get super grimy. In fact, the 3x3 crib session was quickly taken down for harassment and bullying. And that's because it had so many disrespectful lyrics in it. Like lines from the 3x3 song No Cap, where they say they smoke Kobe, lines from Just the Beginning saying they're smoking numerous people, and the disrespect in the music is soon accompanied by disrespect on the streets too. On September 17, 2019, there's a shooting at Kenny's Barbers in Wood Green. RV posts up a snap of him at the location laughing. Now that post goes a lot deeper than you might think, because apparently in 2012, a 15-year-old boy was stabbed there, a case in which RV was actually implicated way back, with him being sentenced to 7 years in a youth offenders institute at the time, and there was another shooting at that same location in 2014. Then in November, Trapo from OFB claimed that 3x3 actually ran him over, with 3x3 members clapping back on Snap seemingly acknowledging this went down. A couple weeks after that, Frogger and Heady One are all up on Snapchat mocking the ops once again, and as we get into 2020, at the top of the year, Heady One is finally sent to jail for 6 months for getting caught with that knife the previous year. Meanwhile, SJ is still sat in jail, settling into his next few decades in the can, still recording and releasing freestyles, dissing dead ops from his cell.
But all I picked that he lost his brain. At 14, yeah, I went insane. But at 16, I put 3 ops on my blade.
Speaking of which, the split between OFB and NPK that happened after the courtroom fight ended up reaching the streets in February 2020 when NPK members allegedly attacked OFB members with knives, once again in a hair salon, an incident that was caught on video and once again is way too shocking to show you on YouTube. And so while Headie One is sat in jail at the top of 2020 after being caught with a knife, Tion Wayne is just going from strength to strength after his appearance on that NSG single Options. By May 2020, he had racked up a whopping 7 entries on the UK singles charts, including Bally with Swams and Keisha and Becky with Russ, at which point he would pop up on a track with the leader of the most feared gang in all of Watford, the Sidemen, appearing on the tune Houdini with KSI that charted at number 6, and then the track I Don't Know with
Dang, I know KSI did a song with T Wayne. I didn't never even hear his music yet though, but he did a song with KSI. That's crazy.
Stormzy and Dutchavelli that hit number 7. Basically, Tion Wayne was on a roll, everything he touched turned to gold, and clearly, the ops weren't going to be happy about this. In July 2020, when Tion Wayne is spotted in the studio with Birmingham rapper Mist, RV pipes up on Twitter, dissing them both, with Tion clapping back, saying, "Lol, you're so selective, it's embarrassing, laughing face. You're a big man, keep it on the roads and stop tweeting. Fix your career and your bank account before you come on here trying to be a comedian, you waste man. This is the only clout I'm giving you." With Tion's description of them as being selective, referring to the fact that if RV is pissed off that Mist is working with one of his ops, Tion Wayne, why didn't he have that same energy for chart-topping king of grime Stormzy, who a year before working with Tion Wayne on the track I Don't Know, collaborated with Headie One on the track Audacity, which charted at number 2, and again only 3 months after this back and forth appearing with Stormzy again on Headie's hit song Ain't It Different along with AJ Tracy, giving Headie One a number 2 chart hit, the highest single song performance of his career. But regardless of the perceived selectiveness, RV still decided to clap back at Tion, saying, "Drill music really corrupting people's brains, lol. When man were doing Afro beats, no one had any energy or any chat for me, especially when we were face to face. But now, everyone's a gangster." With Tion replying again, saying, "When we were face to face, you didn't say or do shit, my guy. Lol, what you on about? These lies, your hairline can't keep up, bro. Pack it in." Now, to their credit, Tion Wayne and RV are both very funny. But the verbal wasn't done, because only 2 days after this back and forth, Abracadabra from OFB comes through and drops his enormous track On Deck. And this features extensive lyrics dissing
That's that fire, dude. That song, that fire.
the N9 boys, and questioning if they have any guns on their estate, with Abracadabra dropping these disses while flipping lyrics from Tion Wayne's very own song I Don't Know. Then, when the OFB All-Star remix drops the following month, Abra brings through pretty much the whole of the Broadwater Farm estate, lined up to pop shots at both the 9 boys and the 2s. But while the rest of OFB were on gang business, Headie One is handling business. After getting out of jail in April 2020, he would get to work, and by July, Headie One was making the biggest move a UK drill rapper has probably ever made in their career, releasing the Only You freestyle featuring Canadian drill rapper Drizzy Drake, taking Headie One's reputation to a whole new level.
I need to hear that. Headie One X Drake. Only You freestyle? Damn, I need to hear that.
Internationally. In my opinion, Headie One completely washed Drake on this track, even though Drake's verse was very, very good. And hell, it sounds like Drake agrees with me, because around the time of the release of the song, Drizzy himself came out to say that Headie One is the best drill artist in the world. The Only You freestyle hit number 5 in the UK singles charts and charted at numerous other countries internationally. But most people that heard the track probably didn't even realise what Headie was even talking about. The song has lines mentioning Boogie B's murder case, and the song ends on a lyric where Headie basically says that he's trying to give guns to his youngers because the beef in his area is on and they're straight up Toosie sliding for the gang. And I tell you what, Headie wasn't lying about the beef frying, because literally only 3 days after his Only You freestyle drops, there's a triple shooting on the Broadwater Farm estate.
Police were called here to the Broadwater Farm estate just before 1 a.m. this morning to reports of gunfire. When they got here, they discovered 3 individuals who had been shot at. Now, the police are keen to trace a car that was used in the shooting. Now, it's believed that 2
groups would occur on October the 8th, 2020, when Ispot from OFB is stabbed in the eye on a train by 3 teenagers armed with machetes, apparently one of whom was as young as 14 years old. There's a lot of rumours about exactly who was involved in this, which I don't want to spread, but it has been suggested that those involved might have had ties to both 3x3 and NPK, with the fact that both 3x3 and NPK members posted on social media mocking the situation after it happened. Apparently the 3 teens responsible have been charged with attempted murder along with lesser charges, and it had even been said on the news that the individual attacked had been left blind in one eye. It would take a few months for Ispot to actually come out and address this situation personally, eventually revealing on Snapchat that he was indeed stabbed near his right eye and in his hand in an unfair 3-on-1 fight, with him suggesting that those responsible had gone on to say that Ispot had stabbed them first in court. We're now closing in on the conclusion of this story, but not before getting to one of the craziest things to happen as part of this feud. As we get into 2020,
This is Blankos, the free-to-play multiplayer game where you can unlock, earn, and sell.
Back and forth between OFB and the Greens of N9 and 3x3 is as active as ever. And in November of 2020, rappers from both OFB and the 9 are spotted on social media calling out in Dubai. And while they're out there, Turner and Tion are seen posted up at a club saying that the ops know where to find them.
Niggas talk about be safe, yeah? Listen, you fucking turn it up out here.
Be safe in the dark.
Listen, the real deal, YouTube gangster, internet killer. You see me, big turns, yeah? I only got one thing to say, yeah? Hold on. Look at the green. Look at the yellow. Aye, one thing to say, yeah? Niggas know where we was gonna be for 2 days, and niggas not pull up. They don't smoke about it. Be safe, bro. You niggas be safe.
This led to Bando K responding on social media, saying that the Niners aren't really with it.
Guys need to stop the bad boy chat, man, especially they know they're not with it, man. Stop it. They're all dickheads, bro.
And throughout their stay in Dubai, the Niners and the O would go back and forth. Tion posted that they all look up to him. Bando replied saying him and Heady One are outside in Dubai. Heady piped up saying social media is killing his people. And at a certain point, the disrespect got turned up to a whole other level when the OFB guys started mocking Turner from the 9 for a recording of him apparently crying over a girl. No comment on that one, Turner. But Turner clapped back, saying that it's these guys always initiating beef with him and that he just responds. But this international social media spat eventually came to a head in a violent and the most inappropriate fashion, because who would have thought that these two warring crews from North London gang sets would find themselves together on the same flight home from their Dubai holiday. And around this time, amateur video began to surface depicting Tion Wayne and Heady One in a physical confrontation on board a flight set to fly out of Dubai, where apparently a drink was thrown, followed by Tion Wayne taking what looked like a full swing punch at Heady One, but thankfully missed / was absorbed by everybody's favourite grow house robber, Morrison. Look him up in your own time. Anywho, whilst Tion is swinging on Heady, Turner is having a scrap with Desi on the other side of the plane, with Desi seemingly armed with a plastic shank that you would use to chef up an in-flight meal. Now, the short clips that circulated from this incident didn't really tell the entire story, but they sure did set the internet on fire with a raft of hilarious memes that followed. Once again, the clips of the fight on the plane are a little too spicy to show you on YouTube, but eventually, Heady One would come through commenting on the situation on Twitter, saying, little altercation with some gangsters coming out for a fight with their phones out, clearly some clout chasing, I'm good, I'm free, a hair on my head hasn't been touched, I'm having dinner, steady. To which Tion Wayne clapped back on Twitter himself saying, lol, oh, you a internet boy now, disappointing. Before the phones came out, I bust your boy's face, you lot were running back to the kitchen. Man didn't even back out no phone. Man replied to his boy bleeding by dashing Fanta.
Come on now, man, y'all both getting all this money, man. I don't get it. I do not fucking get it. And that was kind of crazy though. Both found their way back home from a Dubai trip. Then they see each other on the same plane. That shit crazy as fuck. It's like they be wanting that shit to happen.
Which is a soft drink in the UK. And here he is tweeting, these guys always fool in the public, no real heart. Man called me a clout chaser. I've been airing these guys. They've been saying my name in their songs every second. Even the ones I don't know. I'm out. Desi from OFB replied to this saying, that was some dead wok house scrap. He means prison house. You weren't even on it, and your friend that's 28 years old was waving his camera screaming around like some gal. With Desi going on to say, you yourself, when Heady told you look at your friend waving the camera when we're supposed to get it cracking, you looked back and didn't say a thing. I saw in your eyes the disappointment. Don't come here and cap for the net. Anywho, after the fight, some of the OFB boys, including Frogger and Heady One, were seen still in Dubai, I assume after having been removed from the plane, and as some rumours said, having been arrested and put in jail for a brief period.
Bruv, don't listen to everything you hear. My man's calming there now.
Bro, who took a violation, bro? What's man talking about? Man are talking shit, bro. Bruv, man are lucky that we weren't all there, innit? What? Man see a two-man, Turner's there screaming, showing his, just trying to snap video like Desi didn't fly kick him. Brother, come on, bro. You're getting fly kicked by a 19-year-old or a big 26, 27-year-old man. Like, what's man talking about, bruv? Everyone's just chatting bare shit. And then what? I'm seeing all you people trying to post up. You lot are yeah, I know you shit. Turner, you was just a video, man. And everyone's getting excited. Man are trying to say, Heady, the Desi head boss, this, that. Bruv, where's their bus head? Where's the bus head? Come on, man, just chat bare shit, fam.
However, in spite of claims that they'd been to jail, Brogger made a post seemingly suggesting that they had gotten out, with Bando K later posting snaps of him leaving the country, confirming that he had been to jail and that he would have stayed in Dubai if they hadn't locked him up, so fuck this place for a while. Going on to suggest that he was actually due to be there next week, but he's probably never coming back, possibly related to an outstanding legal issue because of this fight. With Bando out here looking like he was kind of doing the race like some sort of Arabic TK. Tion Wayne also posted saying no one's been arrested, and Turner managed to flip the situation into a W very quickly, slapping together a song and a video about the situation called Flight Mode. Fortunately, no one was hurt in this exchange, but it was yet another reason for these two constantly warring sides to continue beefing and having public issues with each other. And that would continue on in music as we get to 2021, which is of course the year that Tion Wayne takes over the entire rap game. In 2021, the many complex and intertwined beefs of North London gang warfare are still raging. Following the split after the fight between SJ and the MPK members in court, MPK pull up on the Broadwater Farm blocks, filming music videos at iconic beef locations in an attempt to disrespect their former friends, putting purple MPK bandanas on the sign, something that 3x3 had apparently done before, as well as going as far to go and film in front of that Nando's in Wood Green, where witnesses filmed SJ and MPK members running away from the K1 murders holding knives. They also went to the spot where Lamps got shot and Edmonton Green Station. This ended up being the music video for their track Exposing Ops 2.0, which was quickly taken down from YouTube for inciting violence. And this is kind of no surprise, seeing as the lyrics of the song had Sneaks claiming that he gave SJ a black eye in that courtroom fight. They say that they're FBK or farm block killers, and even seeming to claim responsibility for the Ispot eye stabbing incident. But while the ops are going low, at least Heady 1 is going high. On the 12th of February 2021, Heady finally releases his debut studio album Edna, which goes #1 in the UK album charts. This must have been a huge point of pride for Heady, especially considering the fact that the album was named after his deceased mother, Edna, who sadly didn't get to enjoy her son's success. To me, this really is the moment that Heady 1 proved to himself and the entire world that he is far more than just a drill rapper. He is a true artist who evolved, moved forward, and clearly has what it takes to survive in the modern music industry. But sadly, whilst his youngers Bando K and Double L's were still pushing forward with the music, by 2021 holding a whopping 5 chart entries, including their protest song BLM with Abracadabra, but sadly they were still being targeted in the street. On the 8th of May 2021, a massive brawl and stabbing goes down inside of one of London's most famous and historical department stores, Selfridges. It's unclear exactly what went down. A knife is pulled, a mannequin is thrown, and Bando K and Ispot are seen in the altercation, which was caught on camera. Again, too violent to show you on YouTube. 8 people are arrested, including Bando K, who fortunately gets out quickly and posts up on Snapchat. Funnily enough, their ops over in the 9 are having a very different time of things in 2021, because in March, Tion Wayne drops another collaboration with Russ, the song Body, that is an instant classic. Tion Wayne's Body ends up going to #1 in the UK singles charts, becoming the very first drill song in history to go #1 in this country. That's the kind of body I like to see drill rappers catching. Of course, the Daily Mail were trashing them, saying a gangland drill song has gone #1, oh how bad that is. But hell, if they thought Tion Wayne having a #1 song about doing grievous bodily harm to your ops and swinging a shank at the pagans was bad, wait until they hear the remix. Because a little while after Body dropped, in a last minute dash to pick up more spins to secure that #1 spot, Tion Wayne dropped an all-star remix to the song Body. Now this remix was mainly overshadowed by the big time debut of RD, aka H, with elocution lessons, dropping bars about shagging girls sans condoms. Another highlight of this remix was Fabio Foreign's appearance, popping up like
it's Fadi. It's Fadi Foreign, baby.
He's on some kind of New York UK drill exchange program, and embarrassing our whole country by using his 8-bar verse on the biggest song in UK drill history to reference a fictional UK driller, Roadman Shaq. You know, man's not hot. Nice one, Favi. But of course the real grease came from the real...
You ain't said his name right, it's Fadi.
G's, with Tion bringing through the 3x3 rappers E1 and ZT, who appeared on the remix giving a healthy dose of street credentials and disrespect to the ops, using the track to rebuff OFB's frequently used claim, anything green get bun, saying it's a cap because no one from 3x3 has been shot. Surely you'd think that after bagging a #1 hit song, Tion Wayne had truly gone clear, he wouldn't ever need to gangbang or throw up a green flag ever again, right? Well, a little while after Body topped the charts, Tion Wayne was actually spotted out with a tank. Some people thought Tion Wayne had used some sort of GTA cheat code, spawning a tank and perhaps unlimited
GTA cheat code though. What the fuck?
Ammo to finally put an end to this beef once and for all. And it was a smart time to do it because Tion had made sure that he had already 100%ed the music industry before using cheats. Jokes aside though, it turned out that this big old green tank was actually just a prop for the music video of Tion Wayne's new single, Wow. With this releasing on the 3rd of June, the music video was looking like a straight up Grove Street block party, with Tion bringing through the whole 9 and a whole lot of green, I assume as another massive taunt to his rivals. Combine that with lyrics about ops struggling on the O and not being able to defend their block, Young G shooting up north, and even ending the song by saying the whole 9's confused when he says free SJ, an apparent reference to the fact that both OFB and 3x3 both have incarcerated rappers that go by the name SJ. So, this is where the story ends. I'm here at the Hollywood Bowl in Wood Green, the location where
Lamps
was murdered. He was only 19 when he was killed, and he had his whole life ahead of him, only a couple of years younger than the likes of K1 and Kobe. Take that along with the fact that Boogie B and SJ from OFB were sentenced to decades in prison before they had even turned 18. Just going to show you that the road life is truly a dead end. Thankfully, the likes of Tion Wayne and Heady One were able to get out of this difficult environment with #1 records to their names and millions of pounds in the bank. I just wish that the people involved in this feud could set things aside and let each other live. But then again, when there's been this much bloodshed, it's hard to imagine that everyone involved will just let things go. I know a lot of people look up to the drill rappers that we've discussed in this story, but the reality behind those lyrics isn't fun or exciting. It's actually very sad, heartbreaking, and filled with loss. So if there's one takeaway I want to give you from this video, is that you shouldn't convince yourself that you're a fan of the streets or the drills or the gangs, but really just be a fan of the music and let people get on with their lives.
Yeah, that's what I'm a fan of anyway. I'm a fan of the drill scene with the music and shit. Dang, my camera came out of focus. Oh, we back. Yeah, I didn't get no Heady One or no Tion Wayne or no RV. I ain't getting none of their videos to react to from no one, honestly. We got like a notebook full. We got notebooks full. And I ain't getting none from none of them. But if you enjoyed yourself, make sure you like, share, subscribe. It's free. Who don't like free shit? I didn't know all of this was going on. I didn't even know a lot of this have happened. I have reacted to Hit Squad, CN Squad, OFB. I don't think I reacted to N9 yet. I think I probably have. It's probably in a minute. This shit is sad. Rest in peace to everybody that lost their life, even if you was mentioned or not mentioned. Free everybody up out of the slammer. Hopefully one day this can come to an end, but you know it ain't happening. Just like in Chicago, just like in Jacksonville, just like in everywhere. Shit, because it's gangs and shit going on everywhere. Detroit, everywhere. Shit. But man, I'm out, bro. That was a long ass video. I'm gonna upload this, I don't know, probably the day tomorrow. I don't know. Love to all y'all though for rocking with your boy, putting me on to some stuff that I didn't know was going on. It is kind of fucked up though, that a lot of this shit is going on in the world, but shit, it's the world, to be honest. Shit, if it ain't happening with gangs, it's just gonna be happening for fun anyway. I'm still stuck on that one story though, with all of them run up into that place. That right there, nigga gonna have dreams about that shit. I ain't gonna hold you. But I'm out, y'all. Subscribe, it's free. Who don't like free shit? Just saying.